Hey, what's going on, Freedomers? Alright, so this is how to not have fear in building your brand. One, you must have fear and perspective. So what that means, like for me, for instance, is I've been at the lowest of the low. I've been at the bottom. I've been homeless. I've slept on floors. I've slept on drains. I've slept in the middle of the street. And when I say like stuff, I don't want to do a video, or I don't want to tell my story, or I don't want to build a course, or I don't want to take action today. I don't want to DM people. I don't want to charge that much. I don't want to charge what I'm worth. I don't want to say no to opportunities that I know are not integral for me. Yeah, I had to put it in perspective. I said, you've been at the lowest of the low by choice, not by force. Where I could have stayed, like when my parents gave me the ultimatum to leave, I could have stayed. But by making the choice to leave, there's so much power in no. There's so much respect in no. And sometimes yes makes you a slave. Sometimes yes makes you a person who's lesser. And we need to like have that conversation with ourselves that reminds us where we've been. Let's say, for instance, doing astrology. I said, what do you have to lose? By learning, teaching, growing, something that you do anyway. What do you have to lose? Because you making it seem like you got better options, you know? And sometimes you gotta really put fear in perspective. And really think to yourself, like, yo, like when I say perspective, I mean checks and balances. Like, if you are in fear of doing something, or if you feel like, hey, what's going on? If you feel like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this or I shouldn't be doing that, you gotta like have checks and balances. You really gotta check yourself and say, okay, so I fear for whatever irrational or emotional reason. I fear for whatever irrational or emotional reason. Okay. Okay. And for whatever reason you fear doing whatever, you gotta like go to the other side and create balance and be like, yo, but logically speaking, if I feed this fear, Because what I wrote down was the way for fear to control you, you must be a participant. Let me say that again. The way for fear to control you is you got to be a participant. Something can't control you if you're not a participant in its control. And I had to sit with myself with that understanding, like, especially when you're mentally feeding it or emotionally feeding it. Like, clients who tell me what they can't do on social media really, like, aggravate my soul. Because I said, like, I don't have a job, but I just sit on my phone all day and make money from my cell phone. And I'm like, I'm gonna get to a point in the next 2 months where I just wake up to blings and on my Cash App and in my PayPal and my Stripe, coming from nothing. And when a lot of people tell me fear from an unbalanced perspective, especially when it comes from a point of laziness, a point of unwillingness, it really bothers me. When making money on your cell phone is the easiest money you can make. Because some people will spend $1,000 on a cell phone, but won't get on Instagram to DM 100 people. I think that. What's crazy is that I'm understanding, like, clients like that are beneath me, prospects like that are beneath me, because it's like you'll spend $1,000 on a phone, coming out your paycheck, coming out your commissions, whatever, but you won't DM 100 people a day for free. That's like out of balance, and it doesn't make sense. So you gotta put fear in perspective. Because, like, for instance, I was sharing my personal story on my podcast, and and um and and um and when I was sharing my personal story on my podcast, one of my new clients was like, "Yo, I needed to hear that." And I would think she would be ashamed of hearing where I was in my life or whatever, or where I'm going, etc., etc. And her mind was fucking blown when I did a real consultation with her on the phone. Most people are, because they don't know what the fuck they talking about for real. But you gotta put fear in perspective, because in balance, there's somebody else with your same fear, and they'll pay somebody if it's not you to overcome it. So every day you don't want to build your brand. Like, personal secret, I've had 10,000 followers for over 2 years, and it hasn't grown, not even a little bit. And I still make money online. I still make money on Instagram. Let me say that again. I've had 10,000 followers for 2 years, posting almost every day, and I still make money on Instagram. While people have no followers and they're not willing to put in any money, they're not willing to put in any work. And I told my client yesterday the blueprint to make at least $10,000 a month on Instagram, or at least $10,000 in 90 days, 90 to 180 days. And I learned that I'm only giving that to people who are willing to pay me for that. I'm not giving you, and I mean pay as in, like, for my consultation, not for affiliate marketing, not for none of that. If you join me on my my $100 joint, oh shit, okay, I consider it. But I had to come into the realization that I really be giving niggas the blueprint. For real, for real. I be I be giving people the blueprint over and over and over. And I've only had, you know what's crazy? I've only had one client who's listened to what I said. That is so shameful. I've only had one client listen to my $10,000 blueprint. It's shameful. So I get why some people in my lane don't reveal it, because most people are not willing to put in the work. I've only had one. Only one do what I say. It's so sad. And I'm like, yo, I predicted last year Instagram is gonna be like YouTube. What do we have now? IGTV. I predicted that Instagram is gonna change its algorithm. It's gonna be a lot harder to build on here. And I had to really realize, like, yo, a lot of people are not really to do the work. I'm like, yo, for instance, if I tell you to build your shit for free, and that's what behooves, like, that's why you gotta put fear in perspective, because, you know, if you're not even willing to build your shit for free, when somebody tells you it's $500 to do a shout out, like when it's $1,000 to, like, it really take $500 plus to really make ads work, for real. Like, you're not gonna get a client for less than $500 budget. So, and now don't get it fucked up. You could turn on Instagram, at least on Instagram, you can turn a $25 ad into $2,000. My phone about to die, but that's what I'm about to end this live. But you can't do that on minimum wage thinking. Like, I had to accept, like, if you're really not willing to pay, I'm not sharing shit with nobody. And I had to accept that, because I really be having a blueprint. Like I'm about to start doing what niggas is doing and sharing the little crumbs with the niggas. And be like, yo, it's this and the third, but it's not in my heart to do that, but I understand, because most people are not willing to put in the work. And but you gotta put fear in perspective. You gotta when it comes to building your brand, there's somebody with your same fears, with your same doubts, in your same age group, and below your age group. One thing I tell people all the time is 20 years of experience, 10 years of experience don't mean a motherfucking thing on the internet. Let me say that again. 10 years, 20 years, 30 years of experience don't mean a motherfucking thing on the internet. And that's the crazy part. On Instagram, nobody cares about your 10 years of experience. Or do you have 10 years of value on your page? I'm about to make a video about that. Yeah, I need to say that. But put your fear in perspective, because it's like I've been at the bottom, and I was still making money on Instagram with 10,000 followers. Correct. So, a lot of people, including myself, like, you can't, I really be having the blueprint. And like, when I find those clients who about it, woo, who about it. And we all make our mistakes, but one of the things I learned from one of my clients, where he had 20,000 followers, that I helped him build for a consultation. And then when I was managing his page, and I got it shut down because I was doing other people's content, live on my other phone. One of the most powerful things I realized, because he was the one who listened, we could do it all over again. And when I say in the next, before Aquarius season, I'm about to bless him with 100 influencers with prices and all that shit, I take it so personal that I got his account shut down. I take it so goddamn personal that I'm finna bless his life, like, because he was loyal and he did everything that I said to do, and he sent referrals. And man, I be having that blueprint B, that blueprint B. So, like I said, you got it. Like for instance, I'm gonna just end this live with this. I'm not gonna go live again. If you're willing to spend $1,000 on a cell phone, but you're not willing to post on Instagram for free, your fear is not in perspective. Because you should have more fear of $1,000 on a cell phone than you posting on Instagram to build your business for free. Why is that? Because your phone could break tomorrow. Instagram not going there. Your phone. Why's my ear hot? Ooh, my ear hot. Somebody talking bad about me. Why is my ear hot like that? Sheesh, hot, B. But anyway, whatever. Um, you gotta put your fear in perspective. I've never spent over $200 on a cell phone. I made over $10,000 on this bitch. Oh shit! Yeah, I'm still. You saw my phone right now. My phone is cracked as shit, B. But put your fear in perspective when it comes to building your brand. Because put it like this: you'll invest $1,000 on an iPhone. That's someone else's brand, not yours. But you won't invest $1,000 in your own shit. You won't invest for free in your own shit. But you got $1,000 for Apple. You got $1,000 for Samsung. You got $1,000 for iPad, and you got $500 for the newest tablet, for the newest laptop, for HP. But you don't got $500 for your own shit. Put your fear in perspective. Your fear out of whack. So, but yeah, I'm more like and I have my own fears, but even when I did my first ad for my client, like for real, my fear was in perspective because I said, hey, got exposure. So yeah, put your fear in perspective. That's just an example. Put your fear in perspective. Because when you write the checks and balances, you're fearless when it comes to investing in somebody else's shit. But you're fearful, and like you say, you don't want to do this and you don't want to do that, but you'll go through traffic, you'll stand in line in the cold, you'll wait in line for Jordans, you'll all that shit for somebody else's shit that they're remaking over and over and over, but you won't invest for free in your own shit. You won't spend night up till you figure that shit out on your own shit. But you got Jordan money, you got Weave money, you got Apple money, you got HP money, you got Whole Foods money where I'm at right now. But you won't invest in your own shit. Put your fear in perspective. What are you really scared, or you just lack perspective?